by President Donald Trump could now impose 500% tariffs on countries including India and China that continue trading with Russia. Now, this bill reportedly expected to be introduced in August, marking a significant escalation in the U.S. efforts to completely isolate Russia economically. If enacted, the bill could severely impact India and China, who have been the largest buyers of discounted Russian crude. Now, India is a major buyer of Russian oil and has been importing as far as when it comes to billions worth of crude oil in the third year of the Ukraine invasion as well. Let's get in a word as Srinjoy continues to be connected with us. This is going to be a big development, Srinjoy, because we are also talking at a time of a possible trade deal that could be sealed between India and the United States. However, the tariff sword continues to hang above India.
Yes. Lindsey Graham is a very influential Republican senator, and he is close to Donald Trump, is what we are saying. Close, of course, in a way you can be close to Donald Trump. So think of what happened to Elon Musk not very long ago. Now, the point is, this comes exactly at a time when India and America are working on a trade deal. India's S. Jaishankar and Marco Rubio on the sides of the Quad meeting have discussed the trade deal. President Trump himself has said that he expects a trade deal where India will be much more open and so on. So this comes like a surprise, really. But how far this will go, how much support it will have either in the Senate or the House of Representatives, how much support it will eventually have from the president himself remains to be seen. But first of all, regardless of anything else, Lindsey Graham also has to see that America and India are partners, and they are very close strategic partners. So do you want to come up with a bill like this one that will hurt one of your closest strategic partners? So that is a question the Americans will have to ask themselves. This is a question Marco Rubio will have to ask his president. This is a question the president himself will have to wonder about. So all this perhaps suggests that while this will remain a threat, it may not arrive at any kind of fruition.
But Srinjoy, as far as the back and forth that has often been seen with Donald Trump, some days that he also seems to be enjoying his conversations that he has had with Vladimir Putin directly. Now, will this move aim to isolate Moscow and bring it to the table for peace talks on Ukraine? But also, will it risk diplomatic and economic fallout with key partners like India?
At the end of the day, Donald Trump is an unknown entity in some ways, because what he will do tomorrow, nobody really knows. So at this point, the only thing that we know surely about Donald Trump is that the uncertainty always remains with him. But this is something so off the wall. This tariff on India and also China, that it seems unlikely. On the one hand, you will have a trade deal that is under negotiations with the Americans. And that could happen in a few days, even a temporary deal on smaller issues. On the other hand, you have this. Plus, there is Donald Trump, who is constantly talking about this trade deal.
Yes. So let's focus on that very same trade deal, because again, Srinjoy, he seems to have commented on the India-US trade deal, as Trump has been signaling this new trade deal with India, saying that this is a different kind of a deal that is happening with India. But Donald Trump is of the opinion saying that I think we are going to have a deal with India, and that is going to be of a different kind. It is going to be a deal where we are able to go in and compete. Right now, according to Donald Trump, India does not accept anybody in, and he thinks that India is going to do that. If they do that, then we are going to have to deal for much less tariffs. So, Srinjoy, what does it mean? He says both India and the United States are quite competitive.
First of all, this trade deal is being negotiated. the Indian side has deliberately not said a word. You wouldn't have heard anybody, any Indian official talking about the trade deal. We even told the Americans quietly that, look here, let's keep this below radar. You have asked us about a motorcycle, we did it. You spoke to us about a whiskey, we did it. But as far as the rest of these issues are concerned, let's keep it below radar till we arrive at the deal. But, you know, Donald Trump, he will say anything he wants to. So at this point, he has spoken about the deal. He believes that the deal is progressing, which is a positive thing. And it's entirely possible that some aspects of the deal will be made public in a few days. It could be a mini deal that could deal with certain issues, certainly. Clear part of this trade deal before the 9th. Now, that is one possibility. The other, of course, is that we keep negotiating and arrive at a certain situation. Now, as far as Trump is concerned, he believes India is very closed economically and he wants American products in India. Well, this has to be looked at carefully because India is very worried about its agricultural sector. It's very sick.
But we have seen, as far as Donald Trump's point of view is concerned, Srinjoy, what about India's point of view here? Because the External Affairs Minister is right there in the United States and he's also given a statement. Dr. S. Shankar is of the opinion saying that we are in the middle, hopefully more than the middle, of a very intricate trade negotiation, and that he believes has to be a give and take between the two sides to find out a middle ground.
Yes, any trade deal between America and India will be intricate. There is no doubt about that. It's also right that these negotiations have been going on for a while, and we'll have to see how it ends. But Jaishankar is right. Give and take is part of any deal. Donald Trump has done millions of deals in his life, and there's always been give and take. It can't be just give and no take, but or vice versa. So, as far as India is concerned, these issues that relate to agricultural, these issues that relate to dairy, these are things that have to be kept in mind. 60% of India live in the villages. India's per capita income is less than $3,000. America's is about $70,000.
Yes.
These are things that have to be kept in mind.
So these are the concerns there, as Srinjoy has been highlighting. India being one of the more than a dozen countries who have been actively involved in negotiations with the Trump administration to try and avoid the steep spike in tariff rates that has been announced as a deadline on the 9th of July by Donald Trump himself. Srinjoy, thank you very much for joining in. We'll come back to you with more updates.